Get ready for a revelation that will send shockwaves through the legal world. An esteemed Supreme Court justice has recently unveiled an emotional side to their decision-making process that will leave you speechless. In a few, we will dive into a side of justice rarely seen. When Supreme Court cases come up, it's a roller coaster of emotions for all justices. We're talking about brilliant legal minds debating complex issues with huge real-life implications. The clash between liberal and conservative ideas can really heat things up in those court discussions. For the liberal justices, it's about sticking to their guns on progressive values and fighting for social justice. Imagine the struggle when they have to put aside their personal beliefs to follow precedent or the Constitution. It's like wrestling with the scales of justice while trying to stay true to their principles and making sure marginalized voices are heard. On the flip side, conservative justices face their own emotional dilemmas. They're all about upholding traditions, defending individual rights, and safeguarding the rule of law. So when their legal interpretation clashes with personal views or public expectations, it's a tough spot to be in. Imagine trying to balance your beliefs with the legal mandates in the highest court of the land. With the Supreme Court, you've got serious decisions that affect the entire country, and not everyone will walk away satisfied. Thanks to fresh revelations from a Supreme Court justice about their time on the bench, we've learned that some depart feeling utterly devastated. We'll dive into her emotional responses to case decisions in just a few. They have a tough job. It's a high-stakes game where each justice carries the weight of their decisions on their shoulders. Debates are bound to get heated, but at the core, justices need to handle it all with grace, respecting differing opinions, and keep the integrity of the court intact. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor recently shared some pretty emotional stuff about her time on the bench. She opened up about how certain court decisions have actually brought her to tears. While reflecting on her time on the Supreme Court, she told a group at an event honoring her at Harvard University, quote, "There are days that I have come to my office after an announcement of a case and closed my door and cried. There have been those days, and there will likely be more." She also said, "There are moments when I'm deeply, deeply sad. There are moments when, yes, even I feel desperation. We all do, but you have to own it, you have to accept it, you have to shed the tears, and then you have to wipe them and get up," end quote. It's a big deal because we don't often hear about the emotional side of our justices. It's wild to think about, right? We see these judges in their robes making these huge decisions, but behind all that, they're just people with feelings and emotions like the rest of us. Justice Sotomayor getting teary-eyed over some cases really humanizes the whole judicial process. Her heartfelt words at Harvard University revealed a vulnerability and humanity that sometimes get lost in the high-stakes world of the Supreme Court. Knowing that a seasoned justice, someone with years of experience and expertise, being moved to tears by the weight of their decisions serves as a reminder of the immense responsibility that comes with interpreting the law. It's important to recognize that behind the black robes and legal jargon, justices are individuals with their own emotions, values, and beliefs. With all the big issues like presidential immunity and abortion rights coming up, knowing that these decisions are made by real people who truly feel the gravity of their choices adds a whole new layer to it. Justice Sotomayor's honesty reminds us that at the end of the day, these justices are individuals dealing with tough calls that affect us all. Her raw honesty serves as a powerful reminder that the decisions made by the Supreme Court have far-reaching consequences that extend beyond the courtroom. They touch the lives of countless individuals and shape the course of our nation's history. And sharing her vulnerability, Justice Sotomayor has helped us see the complexities and challenges inherent in the pursuit of justice. I think one of the biggest takeaways from this is that transparency about the emotional experiences of judges foster accountability. It shows that they are aware of the impact of their decisions and are grappling with the consequences, which lead to a deeper sense of responsibility in their judgments. We know that their judgments are not made in a vacuum but are influenced by a range of factors including personal values, experiences, and emotions. Justice Sotomayor's emotional disclosure shed some light on what's going on with conservative judges in the judiciary. The fact that she felt the need to get real about her feelings regarding certain judicial decisions tells us a lot about the difference in approach between some liberal judges like herself and the more conservative ones. So what struck me is that this whole thing hints at a potential lack of empathy among some conservative judges. Justice Sotomayor being open about her emotions suggests that there might be a disconnect when it comes to understanding the real-world impact of their rulings. It makes you wonder if some of those judges are really getting how their decisions affect people's lives. And then there's the question of what's driving these conservative judges in their decision making. Could it be that their ideologies are clouding their judgment? The idea that they might be making choices that knowingly hurt certain groups or go against the greater good is pretty concerning. It's like, are they thinking about justice and fairness for everyone? Basically, Sotomayor's candid moment is making us rethink how conservative judges operate. It's kind of a reality check on whether they're considering the human side of things, being inclusive, and truly understanding the social impacts of their rulings. It's like a wake-up call to take a closer look at what values are guiding our judiciary and whether they're serving justice and equality for all. For instance, if we talk about the hot-button issue of abortion and the recent overturn of Roe v. Wade, this decision undoubtedly shook the foundation of reproductive rights in the country. For Justice Sotomayor, who has always been a passionate advocate for women's rights, this turn of events must have been heartbreaking. The thought of a woman's right to choose being taken away and the potential impact on marginalized communities could have deeply affected her. Let's also consider the ongoing debates and challenges surrounding abortion access. As someone who values personal autonomy and bodily integrity, Justice Sotomayor may have been deeply troubled by the restrictions being placed on individuals seeking reproductive health care. The emotional weight of knowing that these policies could disproportionately harm vulnerable populations could have been a significant factor in bringing her to tears. In the end, Justice Sotomayor's tears could reflect a mix of compassion, frustration, and a fierce determination to uphold principles of justice and equality in a world where these values are often under threat. As we reflect on Justice Sotomayor's example, we are reminded of the critical role empathy plays in ensuring fairness and justice for all. It is our hope that all Supreme Court justices approach their decisions with the same level of compassion and understanding as Justice Sotomayor, recognizing the profound impact their choices have on individuals and society as a whole. May her example inspire and encourage her colleagues to consider the human consequences of their decisions, leading to a more just and empathetic legal system for the benefit of all.